Pull on it. The toggles are going to roll away from each other. The important thing is that ridgeline is now locked up against the tarp. Alright, it's that time again, time for another midweek video. And I'm thinking, no ridgeline, no problem. Let's get to it. Another nice, hot, humid day in the eastern woodlands. Alright, so today's topic, no ridgeline, no problem. The past 5 to 6 years, I've shown 2 different types of ridgelines on my channel. One was for small kids and elderly, and the other is for the common man or common woman. Now, since the conception of these things on YouTube, it seems to have morphed into 50 different ways of doing it, and one seems to be more convoluted or complicated than the other. Crazy things. On this end over here, we have individuals showing toggle-less ridgelines. And it's openly said that you may not have access to a toggle, as they're tying it around 2 trees. Trees have branches, you can reach up, break one off, you will always have access to a toggle. I thought about this, unless you're in Antarctica, the bottom of the ocean, or in the Sahara Desert where there's nothing but sand dunes, that may be correct. The other one is off-world, and you're out there growing potatoes with Matt Damon waiting for rescue. Otherwise, you're probably always going to have access to a toggle. Okay? And on this end of the spectrum, I've watched individuals sit for 35 to 40 minutes trying to auger or core out holes inside of T-handles, or go back to their house and pre-drill them to pass a ridge line through in order to create a T-handle to tighten that ridge line down even tighter. And in doing that, I've watched them rip the outer sleeve of paracord off. I've watched the toggle snap in half. So it just gets crazier and crazier. So I sat down and thought about this. Doing all these things is trying to avoid one thing: knots. And that seems to be most people's fear. They're afraid of knots. Most have to sit, it's muscle memory, and do it for a long time. They become confused. They think they're turning right, but their brain's making them turn it left, and they start sweating and getting jittery. So if we remove most of the complicated knots, if not all of them, you can have a perfectly effective ridgeline that will do the job even better than probably 95% of the ones that are out there. So on that note, let's go ahead and avoid the complicated knots and get a ridgeline that will actually work. So once again, no pre-made ridgeline, no problem. So the one thing I teach and preach on my channel all the time is the word intent. What is your intent? Well, I intend on sleeping out for the night. Okay, I have a hammock. I want to put a ridgeline over that hammock. Do I need to know convoluted, complicated knots in order to accomplish that task? The answer is no. Knots have a time and a place. Learning complicated knots can help you later on. The famous thing at the end of the ridgeline on most of these 50 ridgelines is a bowline. But what if there's an easier way to tie something like that and replace the bowline with a simple overhand loop? We're not going to hold weight on it. We're not rappelling. We're not rescuing somebody from a ditch. We're not tying a load onto the truck. Our intent is to hang a tarp or a poncho, something that weighs ounces. So in this case, we're going to use a number 36 bank line, and we're going to tie an overhand loop at the end of that, and then begin our ridge line. Taking the number 36 bank line, we're going to make a bite, and then simply go around my finger. Tuck it under and pull it through. You're creating an overhand knot with a loop. Being that we're going to tie our ridge line between 2 trees, I'm going to simply look down, pick up a stick off the ground, and use that for our toggle. Now take our overhand loop, go around, and then place a small piece inside. It creates a pocket. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now lay your tarp down, and we're going to take 2 bites, one for each corner of our grommet. The grommet is a small metal ring. We're going to pass that bite through the grommet and then put a toggle into the bite and then simply pull it tight. Now, before we get too far down the trail, I mentioned a long time ago we're going back to the first loves, backpacks, gear, things like that. So that was an Arcturus tarp. And the Arcturus has always been good to me. It's on my Amazon affiliate page. Go to my video description box, click on the Amazon link. Under shelters, you'll see the Arcturus tarps. There's a bunch of different colors. If you want one, get her done. So far we used one knot, an overhand loop. Simple overhand knot with a bite in it. That's all it was. Now we're going to go ahead and do the hardest part of this entire ridgeline, an improvised trucker's hitch. Now from here I'm going to grab my ridgeline, I'm going to pull on it. The toggles are going to roll away from each other. The important thing is that ridgeline is now locked up against the tarp. There's no sagging down of one corner, it's not hanging away over here. It's 100% in line with that ridgeline. Now we're going to go around the tree and tie it off with an improvised trucker's hitch. I'm going to twist, lay it down, pull it through. Now I'm going to pull the line. The more I pull it, the tighter it's going to get. From here, we're going to pinch both lines together, drape it over, reach inside and pull it towards my hand. So as one final step, just stake it out and you're home free. But I want to drive this point home. Here's your ridgeline and there's your tarp. It's 100% in line and parallel with that ridgeline. There's not one side hanging down like this, looking like crap or being pulled away because of the length of Prusix and things like that and convoluted knots that are on there. A simple toggle, they roll away, it pins it up against there, and you're done. And that crease right there, all you gotta do, remove one stake, pull it to where it's gone, then stake it down. You can't get much cleaner than that. There's no sagging of one end. There's no ridge line here in the tarp being pulled away from it 6 inches so the water just runs down inside there. It's 100% in line and tight to that ridge line there. And the best part is that same exact setup can be used for a plow point and even an A-frame configuration. The purpose of this video was to cater to individuals that either, one, don't have a pre-made ridgeline for whatever reason, two, are confused by the 50 or so that are out there and don't know which one works for them, three, most importantly, they're confused by knots. So we eliminated most of them and still got the job done. So take it with a grain of salt, okay? Find one that works for you. If you enjoy convoluted things or knowing 50 different ways to do things, when one will always work all over the world, that's entirely up to you. As I've shown over the years, a handful of knots, 1 or 2 hitches, and you can accomplish almost anything. So I choose to work smarter, not harder. Maybe that's a character flaw. I don't believe I need to know 500 knots when 5 will do everything, including build structures and hang me off the side of a cliff. That's just me. Again, work smarter, not harder. I believe the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. I want to get there and get it done. That's who I am. That's what I do. So hopefully this video will help you out. And again, just like the title, no ridgeline, no problem. On that note, let's go ahead and end this bad boy off. With that, all the gear in my videos can be found in 2 places. 1, my Amazon affiliate page, and 2, my Etsy store. Both links are found inside my description box. Now please do me that favor. Hit that like and subscribe button, then ring that notification bell. Once you ring that bell, please select all notifications. And as always, thank you for your comments, views, and support. Thanks for watching. Get out in the field, have some fun. I'm going to catch you next time.